So I have this little book here like this, and I'm going to show you how I made it. And then you can make one too. You can use old prints, drawings, handmade paper, anything, collage paper. Make your own little book that you can use for a notebook, or you can give away as a present. I've had a lot of artists asking about how I make these little books. So I had some handmade paper, and I've folded these little pages up so it all sits together, and I'm going to stitch it right here. And the first thing I do when I'm stitching is I put some little these clamps on to hold the paper in place. So I've got that clamp there, and making sure that all fits together. So I'm going to put the middle hole here halfway through, and then I usually put the other two about 2 centimeters in from the edge, so it sort of looks roughly even. Then I've got this book binding thread, but you can use any strong thread really, and I'm going to have the tie off in the center. You can have it at the back if you want to, but I kind of like the back without it. So you go down through the middle, start with the middle, turn it over, pages are all clamped, and up through this next one. You then go over right to the very end. Leave enough there for tying off. Turn it over. There it is there. And you're coming through on the other side of that stitch. You can see it's all pretty wobbly until I tie it off. And then you just pull those threads like that so it's nice and tight, and you just do a little knot, 2 knots, double knot, granny knot. Cut it all down so it's nice little neat stitch, and it kind of adds to it like that. So then I take all this off, and you can see how useful it was to clamp it into space, and it stayed on the edge there on that fold, and there it is. The next thing is to make a closure for it. So it's really simple. So I made that like that. I'll cut that. I'm going to add this little bit of handmade paper. I'll have to glue it. So I've got some glue here. And you can see that like that. And then that'll hold the thread. I think I actually like it a little bit more this way. So now I'm going to put a bit of greaseproof paper or baking paper top of that, and put an iron on just to flatten it out. And while that's sticking down, I'm going to put a little bead, and I'm going to thread that into the needle, I think, and see. And you can see I've pulled it through, and there's the little bead like that. And then I'm going to knot the end so that the bead doesn't fall through. And it's quite nice having those little threads hanging at the bottom. I do perhaps maybe 3 knots. There it goes. Bead won't fall through. It's got a nice little tail, and we'll have a look. There it is, the book closed. Its little closure just pops that through like that, and there it is, all finished.